Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video, we're going to look at some products from the company Nitecore. The products we're going to look at today rounded out 2021, punched into 2022, and are some of the newest products in Nitecore's lineup. So today what we're going to look at, the TM9K TAC, the P20iX, the UT27 headlamp, and well, thanks to the people at Nitecore, you're going to get to see Albert at SHOT Show 2022 giving a demonstration of the new TM20K. This is going to be sort of a sneak peek at a flashlight to pay attention to coming into 2022. If you think the TM10K is badass, wait till you see the TM20K. Now this video is not going to be a full review on any one of these products, rather pretty much just a first look and impression and run through of these. It's quite possible that in the future I'll do dedicated reviews on these. It just kind of depends on how things go. But with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you, and if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned! Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Nitecore who did provide these products for review. So the first product we're going to look at is the TM9K TAC. The TM, tiny monster, 9K, 9,000 lumens of output. The TM9K is a product that I covered on my channel in the past, but this one here being the original version, and now here the TM9K TAC. Now, at an initial glimpse, they look very similar. Bottom line is they're very similar. There's not a whole heck of a lot of difference between the original TM9K and the TM9K TAC. But my experience with the TM9K TAC, well, it pretty much starts like this. I'm going to say if you look at the front of this, you'll notice it is quite cloudy. And in comparison to the TM9K original, it's like, well, what's going on there? Well, this is something that if you look at my original video on the TM9K, I warned everybody to carry that if they're going to keep it in their pocket with the flashlight locked. Unfortunately, I did not listen to my own advice, and well, it was New Year's Eve. I had my flashlight in my pocket. I was walking through my house. I smelt what I thought was an electrical fire. Well, lo and behold, no, it was me literally burning a hole in the pocket of my $150 Fjallraven Vita Pro trousers, which if you look down and on the inside here, yes, there is the hole. It literally melted right through these, and now there's a gaping hole in my pocket. What I was smelling was the miniature little melting event going on in my pocket. Now, ironically, I actually didn't feel the heat of the flashlight, just the way I was sitting and the way the flashlight was canted to the side. I really couldn't feel it. But what I suspect is I was probably leaning on the proprietary turbo mode, and well, that's putting out a full 9,000 lumens, and then at some point it dims down, but still that light there is still heating up and getting pretty hot, and to the point where in my original video I was actually almost able to light a match using the TM9K. So I did not heed my own warning. I melted my pocket. I probably could have burned myself, but that's why the front of this is all brown and foggy. But now, just taking a quick minute and cleaning this up, what exactly are the differences between the TM9K and the TM9K TAC? Again, just at face value, looking extremely similar, with the one exception being, well, this kind of has that tactical ring. So a little more sort of tactile response now. Now, I don't know if the market was asking for that or if they just decided this would be the way to go with this particular flashlight, but you can see here just that little bit of a tactical ring. Both having the clips, no problem. Both having the same head now. In terms of performance, very, very similar. When you look at each one of these lights, they are very similar overall. So when you take a look at the actual output, first you have the ultra low mode. So the ultra low mode on the TM9K at 30 lumens, the TAC being 30 lumens as well. Both 60-hour runtime. And here you can see both the TM9K and the TM9K TAC in the ultra low mode. But moving forward into the low mode, this is a 130 lumen 14-hour runtime for the TM9K. It is also 130 lumens 14-hour runtime for the TM9K TAC. So again, both of them being exactly the same. But moving forward, this is where they differentiate just a little bit. On the TM9K original, you have 460 lumens running for 4.5 hours on the medium mode. And on the TM9K TAC, 500 lumens for 4 hours of runtime. Very similar, pretty much just a 40 lumen difference, and it's a little bit hard to tell. Now the high mode, on the original 1900 lumens for 3 hours of runtime. And moving forward now with the TM9K TAC, we end up with 2000 lumens at 3 hours of runtime, so a 100 lumen bump. And finally, with the TM9K original, a 9500 lumen burst, and with the TM9K TAC, 9800 lumen burst, so a 300 lumen bump. And so all in all, you can see both of these fairly similar overall, not a ton of difference. So whether you got your hands on the original or now on the TM9K TAC, both very good lights. But again, just heed my warning. If you are going to carry this in your pocket, you need to lock it. Remember, if you're gonna carry it in your pocket, you need to lock it. It is very true. However, this does also come with some accessories. So if you are worried about that, you can potentially run the accessory belt pouch, which I think for this light, quite honestly, does make a lot of sense. So that, my friends, is the TM9K TAC. But next, the P20iX. This is a beautiful flashlight. Now, I have mixed opinions about this. I've been carrying it for a while. You can see I have been carrying this in the sort of belt cradle. It is a very cool belt clip cradle system, which I do like. Pretty much this just like sets in and snaps in. Very nice, holds this light absolutely perfectly secure on the clip. It does end up with some spacers to space it out depending on the width of your belt. So very nicely done and a great design from Nitecore. But in terms of the flashlight itself, also very good. It does have a couple of different modes. So a basic mode and then a tactical mode, so you can kind of switch this. And so I have this set right now into daily mode. So this is more like the typical user mode. They call this daily mode. So the first thing is when you hit the mode button, instant access to turbo, and when you long press sort of on the main switch, you can see, well, that's going to put it to pretty much like the memory mode. So right now I have it in that ultra low, and you can see that's your memory mode. Now, if I want to start working my way through the different modes, I can click the light on. Again, that's your memory. And if I just press the mode button, you can see no problem right through. So ultra low, low, medium, high. That's sort of what they call higher. So it's like a second high mode. And then again, ultra low, low, mid, high, higher. And then if I long press on this mode button, well, there's your turbo. So that's kind of how it works with the daily mode. Again, you always have access to both your strobe, but also that memory mode, which is nice, with the exception being you can't get to turbo. I personally don't generally use a tactical light, so this might not be the best choice for me. However, if you are a tactically inspired guy or gal, you are going to love the fact that you can always get directly to that strobe. But what about the tactical mode? Again, long press on the cap, swivel that off, the light will blink, turn it back on. It is now in the tactical mode. So tactical mode, again, pressing the mode button straight to strobe. When I press, well, here you can see as I press the mode button, this is automatically gonna come in that high mode. So pretty much your turbo right away, and then bumping it down. 3 more levels. Turbo, high, mid, low. Turbo, high, mid, low. And that's how it works on tactical. So for somebody like me, it's hard to say which I would prefer. I do kind of like the idea that with a blip, you're right into turbo, or if you need the strobe, it's right there. Not bad. So which mode is better for me? Hard to say. I mean, when it's in the tactical mode, your guns are blazing right out of the gate, no matter what you do. So you need to be ready for output. So if you're somebody looking for immediate output, that's going to be the mode. But for most other people, again, you're going to long press the tail cap, twist it off, let the flashlight blink, spin it back on. Well, now again, I'm in that daily mode. So it's based on memory, but then again, tack ready with the strobe on that mode switch. And so next, this is the UT27 headlamp. I haven't even had a chance to pull this out yet, and I just ripped the box. But this is something that for me, I think is going to be pretty fun. I'll probably do a full review of this out in the wilderness at some point. First thing is, you can see it comes with this little bag, which I'm telling you is going to double as a lantern. So if you were to take your actual headlamp and drop it inside this, you could hang this up potentially inside your tent or in a hammock or around your camp and get a nice little glow. This will act like a lantern, so that's pretty cool. USB Type-C charging, a very nice headband. So looking at this here, as we remove this, a nice vented headband. That's going to be sweet, very lightweight overall, and I like the nice pop, that yellow looking pretty cool. So as I get this on my head briefly, it will take some adjustment to get it comfortable, but this is close to fitting already. That's going to have a nice swivel, good positive click on each one of those little swivels, and should allow me to present the light at pretty much any angle that I would need. Now, one thing that I do know is this leverages a proprietary battery. So let's do this and turn it over to Albert real quick to run you through the battery situation.
This particular light also uses a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, much like you would see in a cell phone, USB-C rechargeable. And in the event that you don't have access to charge this battery and are out there, you can also power this headlamp with 3 AAA batteries. So it's a dual fuel headlamp.
And so now that you see how these batteries run, you can see I do have the proprietary battery in here. And as I press the button on the front, long press, that's going to turn on your sort of warmer light, and here the cooler light. So depending on what you're trying to do, you can literally click between those. Now what happens if I long press here? Does it, ooh, you can turn them both on by double clicking. So that's pretty neat. And different intensities. So that's nice. So literally clicking between the lights there, different intensities, long press. So you can see I am definitely signaling mode. So that's a lockout by long pressing. Flashing there, it's back on. So yeah, definitely cool. And the way I'm getting to the both colors is really by double clicking real quick. So if I single click on any side, that's just changing the intensity low, high, low, high. Again, on the warm side, low, high, low, high. Double click real quick. Now it's both of them. Yeah, really at that point, you seem to only have one mode with both beams. So definitely cool. Long press and it's off. Now, if I double press any one of the buttons super fast, well, there you can see you do end up with the red light. And then if I press it again, it's going to flash. So it's a little bit of a beacon, and then a single press back to that red light, long press and off. Now, if I long press again, light back on, cycle between the modes, cycle between the colors, long press, off. So very cool, just a different take on a headlamp from Nitecore. This is quite light overall. It's like plastic construction all the way around, but that doesn't mean it's cheap. It just means it's nice and lightweight. So this will be something that's fun to play with, a number of different modes, and again, very refreshing and a different look at things coming from Nitecore. So again, that's the UT27 headlamp. Came out in the very end of 2021 and pushing into 2022. So again, very new, brand new headlamp from Nitecore. Nice job. And last but not least, well, at SHOT Show 2022, we did have the opportunity to get a sneak peek at the TM20K. So the tiny monster 20K. If you think these other flashlights are badass in any of the TM series, including the TM9K, TM9K TAC, just fantastic. So let's turn it over to Albert to demonstrate that TM20K.
So I wanted to give you guys an exclusive sneak peek on a new light we have coming out in 2022. It is not available yet, but it'll be coming out. This is the new Tiny Monster TM20K light from Nitecore. So as you can see in the name, the TM20K is capable of outputting 20,000 lumens of light. It does have dedicated lockout so that it can be stored safely, as well as several different outputs of light. Oh, I should unlock it first. So right now I'm going to adjust that output level, and then we're going to go ahead and jump into full-on 20,000 lumens of output in a handheld flashlight. So just to give you a size comparison, versus the TM10K versus the TM9K. So it's not a huge flashlight. Slightly bigger than the other two, but more than twice the output. So be on the lookout for the new Tiny Monster from Nitecore in 2022.
So all right guys, there you have it, a look at the newest products from the Nitecore lineup. Again, thank you very much to the people at Nitecore for providing these for review. Very cool. As I mentioned early on, this is pretty much a first look and impression at these lights. Moving forward now into the future, will I do a full featured review on these? Again, a little bit hard to say. I think definitely the headlamp, probably I will get this P20iX into a little more field use and fully demonstrate its capabilities. I'm still learning on this myself, but I do greatly like it. In terms of the TM9K, if you are interested in seeing this in full detail, I do strongly suggest taking a look at my original video, which is pretty much going to show you the general performance and capabilities of either one of these flashlights. And beyond that, keep an eye out for the TM20K, just double the output in a monster. When you look at it compared to this TM9K, that TM20K is going to be pretty sweet. And if you like this content, do me a favor, take a look at my Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the tactical and firearm side of things. On that channel, it is growing quickly. I have a ton of videos up there, so if you like what you see here on Outer Limitless, do me a favor and check out Outer Limitless 2. And so, all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.